Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. I hope you're doing great. We're here at Madeira Airport with the Airbus A320neo from IniBuilds. It is free and is now available on the open beta version of Microsoft Flight Simulator if you want to try it out. Today we're going to take a quick look at it. We're going to do a circuit lap around Madeira just to try it out, see how it handles, and land and give our impressions on it. Without further ado, let's jump right into the cockpit. Here we are. Texture wise, it looks pretty similar to the default A320. Looks a bit more polished, but overall it looks a bit like the same. We do have the addition of the tablet from IniBuilds, which by the way is looking pretty neat. Same as the A310 that they did. Has all the basic stuff that all the tablets have. The ability to download your SimBrief flight plan, the ability to load in your flight details, search for METARs, your general ground handling, your payload settings, your panel state settings, the takeoff performance calculation, and some general options. I did like this tail number cell call generator. You can actually put in your custom tail number and your cell call. And the fact that you can also control the rudder control tiller option, which allows you to separate your tiller from your rudder axis, which is pretty neat. For testing purposes, I've set up the IRS align time to basically instant, so we can get going as soon as we can. Sound wise, pretty good, honestly. The clicking feels really nice. You can hear the faint seatbelt signs and the no smoking signs on the back, as you would expect. Go ahead and set our altitude to 2000. So we'll take a look at the MCDU. Pretty standard stuff. I've tested it before and it works just fine in flight as well, which is pretty good for a a free aircraft. Didn't have any issues with setting waypoints, directs, arrivals, reading any of the nav data. It was pretty standard, but works. So perfect. We'll just go ahead and insert the details. Unfortunately, I don't believe it captures the information from SimBrief and imports it automatically. You need to manually input it, as far as I know. I haven't found a way, at least so far. At least you have the information on the tablet to your left. Another cool feature about it, it imports the current weights and block fuel numbers from the aircraft, as you can see. We'll go ahead and set a random departure. It doesn't matter right now because we are gonna just fly a circuit around here. We'll do any arrival, really, it doesn't matter. Just have something in the flight plan so you can see how it works. There we go, that should do it. Most of the buttons in the cockpit do work, okay? I've noticed that none of the buttons up here, apart from these lights, seem to work. There are some buttons that also don't work in the main overhead, but honestly, nothing that you would really need, especially for a free aircraft. So everything that you need for flying from point A to point B in a realistic way, you can do it on this one. So yeah, it's all good. We'll go ahead and get the performance. We could get it from the tablet. Yeah, let's try it out. So we got conditions here. Got the current weight. You can just calculate. There you go. So we have flex 58, 136, 136, 139, 1.50. So 68. 58, 1.50. Up 0.5. That's, what am I doing? Okay, flaps 1. Up 1.5. Does it match this thing? No, it doesn't. It's supposed to be 135, 138, 138. Let's just double check. because I have the memory of a goldfish. And I'm wrong, it was 136, 136, 139. Great. 36, 36, 39. Okay, so that should be the MCDU set. Leave it as is. We'll take care of starting the APU. Okay, what is the QNH? Is 1022. We'll go ahead and set that. I've set this one up so it syncs between my side and the first officer's side. As you can see here, pretty standard stuff, but it actually works. Let's see if you can hear the APU outside. Yep, you can hear it starting up. Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. This is supposed to have a integrated pushback system, so we'll try that one out as well. So APU is starting. In the meantime, we'll set our squawk. APU is now available. Then turn on the APU bleed, and as you do, the back should come on and we should hear a difference in sound. Oh yeah. Nice, good stuff. Don't need the external power anymore, let's go ahead and disconnect it. And with that out of the way, I believe we are good for pushback. And do that. Beacon on, see how this works. So, go ahead and set off our parking brakes. Pushback started. Okay. There a specific way of doing this? Nope. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it doesn't seem to be working. If it is a bug, then I guess they'll fix it. But yeah, doesn't seem to be working for me. Oh. Oh well. So we're gonna go ahead and start the engines. Oh, ignition to start. Engine 2. Can barely hear the engine start, which is something that would make sense for a Neo. Let's see it from the outside. Beautiful sounds. Oh, there it goes. Nice, really nice. Really good stuff. Let's go ahead and start engine 1. Nice. Engine 1 had a good start as well. Go ahead and set up for taxi. Parking brake off, and as soon as I let go of the parking brake, see how it's moving on its own. Pretty good stuff. It gets going on its own, doesn't need throttle at all. I know that the Phoenix requires a bit of throttle to keep it going, which is pretty annoying sometimes. It feels like it's kind of stuck on the ground. This one just kind of floats. Don't even need to apply throttle. Look at that. It's taxiing on its own. Good stuff. Really decent. I wonder if these work. Because none really do, right? We'll go ahead and set it up like a rainy. Okay, now we have rain on the windscreen, as you can see. I'll see if it wipes it. Oh! Well, that's a surprise. It actually does try to clean it. I was not expecting that at all. Good stuff. Good stuff. Don't know if it's really clear on the video, but it's definitely wiping the raindrops. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Now I'll tell you this, ground handling wise, it feels really good. It feels heavy. It doesn't feel twitchy at all. It feels very, very smooth. And the whole inertia thing, kinda big +1 to that. And the fact that the wipers actually do work, another +1 on that. Liking it. I'm really liking it. The brakes are smooth as well. Not really strong. I feel like Phoenix's brakes are really, really strong. Maybe that's realistic, I don't know. But I kinda like it this way. They're very smooth. Look at that, smooth thirds as well. Feels good. Feels good to handle this one on the ground. Let's go ahead and take off. Stabilized. Flex. SRS. I don't know where the runway is, but okay. Another thrust blue. Fair enough. Nice ground roll sounds. 100 knots. Bit of left rudder is expected. Rotate. Wow, that's heavy. That feels heavy, but it feels good. We'll maintain our present heading. Positive rate, gear up. Good stuff, good stuff. And open climb. That feels surprisingly good. We'll go ahead and test the autopilot here. On heading mode. Alt start. Still on heading. Lever to climb. A weird jump there. Maintain the speed at 180 knots. 2,000 feet, 180 knots. We'll begin our right turn as well. So that's gonna be 135. There was a bit of a spike there on the speed as soon as I put the lever on the climb, on thrust climb. Kind of weird. Don't know if that was the wind, if it was the autopilot or the auto thrust system going a bit nuts. Not sure. Another thing I've noticed, I don't really enjoy the colors on the PFD. Okay, I like the ones on the Phoenix version. They look really good. This one looks very similar to the default ones. But, yeah, that's probably just me being picky. $225 or 1,000 feet. Let's go ahead and crack flaps 2. Just kind of set up our performance for the approach phase. Kind of pretending that we're at Lisbon, but we're not. We'll do something like this.
1,000.
Euro. Pretend it's 200. Doesn't matter. Just to test the 9.3 config. Really far away. Jesus. Start heading towards the airport. And we'll test out this thing. Yep, GPWS flap 3 config. Pretty good. Okay, so here we are, set up more or less for final. We'll go ahead and switch this to track FBA, turn off the flight directories, and fly it on our own.
1000.
Checked. Gear is down, the flaps are set to 3, lights are on. Landing memo to blue, we're good to go. So again, the aircraft feels really heavy. Really heavy. Kinda like it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna do really bad on the landing. Hopefully not, but feels like I will. It's also a bit windy. I think it's reacting a bit too much to the wind, if I'm honest. Should be wobbling this much. It's only like 6 to 9 knots, 10 maximum. Doesn't seem so bad. A bit low. Go ahead and start to correct that. Doesn't look like we're low. We should be getting that second. There we go. Okay. A lot of inputs, but I feel like that's my bad. Really, the aircraft's full.
Minimum 140.
30.
30. 20. 10. 5.
Okay. Spoilers, reverse, green, and decel. Seven knots. I'm braking. And that's us in the ground. Not the best landing. Again, the aircraft felt a bit weird on flaring, okay? I felt like I was in control of it the whole time. Like, kind of like I was flying a GA. And I don't think it should be like that. The flare mode doesn't seem to be a thing. Because I'm pretty sure I should be holding that pitch and just keep it there. And that wasn't happening. It felt like I was flying, you know, like a Cessna, or even like a Boeing. Like I kept having to put inputs into the flight stick to make it flare. It's kind of hard to explain. I think like you should probably try it yourself and see how it feels. It didn't feel quite right. I feel like the Phoenix one is a lot better on that aspect. Okay. Anyways, just try it out yourself. Install the beta version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Leave a comment on the comment section below and let me know what you think of the landing. I like it, but it doesn't feel like an Airbus. Okay, it's really hard to explain. Maybe you should try it out yourself. Let me know, because that felt a bit weird. We'll go ahead and park this thing and wrap it up. So there you have it. The aircraft is free, okay? Let's remember that. There is no default aircraft, or at least any free aircraft, that's as good as this, alright? If you look at X-Plane 11, if you look at P3D, even X-Plane 12, if you look at the default airliners, they're nowhere near as good as this, right? The Azoba version that came out on 2020 was horrible, and it was still superior to what X-Plane and other simulators have provided us in the past. So let's keep in mind that IniBuilds is providing this through Microsoft Flight Simulator for free, okay? The same way that they did with the A310. So keeping that in mind, I must say this is a pretty good addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator. If we didn't have Phoenix, if we didn't have the fly-by-wire, I would most likely, I would say even surely, fly this thing, okay? It looks good from the outside and the inside. Okay, the textures are not like perfect like the Phoenix, but they're good. It goes easily from point A to point B following semi-realistic procedures. It flies very well under the autopilot. I would say the downsides of it was honestly the landing. Okay, I might have been my issue because it kind of felt weird. Still, I'm still holding a grudge on that landing. The flare just didn't feel right. But if you move past that and realize it's a free edition, it's definitely a +1 for me. Like, I would definitely fly this if I didn't have the Phoenix. So if you're flying the fly-by-wire as your go-to aircraft, try this one out once it comes out, or try it right now on the open beta. And let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment. That helps out the channel a lot. And until the next one, safe flights to everyone. See ya!